Hey, welcome to JaxConf. I'm Chris Mayer, and I'm joined here by OpenShift's Steve Citrin-Pusti. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. So, obviously, being at OpenShift, let's talk OpenShift. So, what is it, for anybody who doesn't know?
Okay, OpenShift is Red Hat's platform as a service, and so platform as a service, for those who don't know, is a step above infrastructure as a service. So almost everybody, if they haven't been under a rock, knows EC2.
Yes.
Right, and that's infrastructure as a service, where you ask for a machine and they give you a virtual machine, but you still have to do all the configuration and maintenance and all that.
Yeah.
With platform as a service, a developer just says, oh, I want to develop in Node, or I just want to develop in Java. And we spin up Tomcat or JBoss or Node server, and then they do their code doing Git pushes and SSH, and that's all you have to do from then on.
Okay, great. I've noticed that with OpenShift, there's a lot of choice in terms of languages you can use. Why a polyglot approach over, say, one language and kind of master that before you go to the others?
Well, first of all, it's more fun to say polyglot than any other word in the English language. But for technical reasons, we found that most of the teams we interact with, they either want to experiment with a language that they haven't tried yet, and we want to be able to give them that freedom to experiment. Like, a lot of Java developers are like, oh, what's all this Node about? And then they'll try out Node.
And then they want to try it out.
Right, and then they don't have to do anything else, they just spin it up, or Ruby. And then they try it and they're like, oh, I didn't really like that. So they can just delete it, right? But not have to install the servers. The other thing is, on a lot of we're Red Hat, right? So we have very large companies that we help. Including small startups as well, though. And so it allows us to appeal to more developers, and then also within the big companies, they usually are doing several different languages inside of a big company. Like they'll be doing Java and PHP, and then they're looking at Node and Mongo, right? So we give them that ability.
So that flexibility, so OpenShift Origin, can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, OpenShift Origin is our open source project. It's on GitHub. OpenShift.github.io or .com, and all the bits are there. It's Apache 2 licensed, and it's also, which is nice, I'm really excited about that. And it's also the upstream repo for both our online service and our enterprise product. So being Red Hat, we have our enterprise product as well, right? Where you can pay and we'll help you install the bits wherever you want to install them.
But the open source part is the key.
Is the key. Everything's happening. And like Fedora, it's a little bit more unstable, it's more fast moving, it'll be trying things out. Whereas enterprise is like, this is actually what I want to really run on. I mean, some people running, so if you look up GetUp Cloud, GetUp Cloud is a platform as a service provider in Latin America, and they're actually running Origin and competing with us for the service because network connectivity between the United States and Latin America is not as good. So,
a big thing about cloud platforms is vendor lock-in, and that's kind of the where everyone goes, oh, hang on a minute.
Exactly.
How do you avoid that with OpenShift?
So there's a couple different ways that we avoid that. One is Origin, right? So if you ever think that we're doing something nasty and you want to just take the code and run it yourself, you've got it. Okay. The other way we do that is we basically use standard development practices for everything that we do. So like I said before, when you want to deploy your app, all you use is Git. There's no way to compile, you don't have to specially compile your project, you don't have to do anything or some custom command line tool to deploy. And the way our projects are laid out are like any normal project. So you can basically, if you don't like us, you just take the code and run it somewhere else. There's no migration.
Cool. Security, I suppose, goes hand in hand with another enterprise concern. So how do you tackle that one?
So with Red Hat, the people who put SE Linux into the kernel for Linux, we take that really seriously. So we have a security team who goes through and does all the normal looking for vulnerabilities and does all that testing. But also the way we're built by default actually uses all the Linux kernel pieces. So when we're not creating virtual machines for each user, we're actually using SC Linux and C groups to lock each user down. And therefore, even if someone, because of the way we have SC Linux set up, which I always turn off on my laptop, but I want it on my servers. With the way we have it set up, if someone roots your application, they still can't get root on the server because they'll still be running in the context of your user. Right? So they don't, SC Linux, we have SC Linux and C groups built in, so you don't have to.
I see. So you guys have been around for some time now. What plans are ahead for OpenShift in particular?
So big news, this is coming next week because it's Red Hat Summit, right? So for most tech companies, their summits are the big announcements. So stay tuned for next week. There'll be a big announcement around pricing.
Keep it quiet,
Yeah, I can't say too much. But I can say what's happening is there'll be the 1.2 release of our enterprise product. So enterprise has been on sale since last year. But our online is still in developer preview. But if you tune in next week, there might be some news about whether we're still developer preview or not next week. Well, when is this going live?
We'll find out. It might be after, it might be before.
So all right. Well, then I can't spill the beans, sorry.
It's okay. So enjoy the rest of JaxConf and hope we see you around.
Thank you.